Hello, and welcome back to the Rousseau Report. Today, we're going to talk about the PC. Can I finish? Finish people? Let's add a 24 to the PC. Okay, the Pilatus PC24 business jet was announced in 2013, received FAA and EASA certification in 2017, with first customer deliveries a year later. It borrowed some features from the successful and current production PC-12 turboprop that's been in service for over 30 years and stands out from its competition in that it incorporates a dual-door configuration, forward passenger and aft cargo, which provides a myriad of capabilities which we'll address in a minute. The PC-12 is one of the few aircraft certified to land on unpaved airfields such as grass, dirt, gravel, and snow. As a side note, the King Air 200 is a strong competitor and has been in service since 1974. It can also be outfitted with a cargo door as an option. However, because of its twin-engine design, the single door is located on the aft left-hand side. A unique design feature is that the stairs are integrated into the door. However, if you load cargo only, the door swings upward. Passenger door opens downward, and in this latter case, you don't have to open the entire door as it incorporates a split design, which is pretty ingenious. Let's return to the PC-12. The aft cargo door measures roughly 4 feet by 4 feet and is electrically operated. Conversely, the passenger door measures 2 feet by 4 feet. So if you load cargo in the aft section, passengers can easily enter via the forward door. Interior configurations are plentiful, from 6-passenger executive to 10-passenger commuter. As is the case with most clean sheet designs, OEMs will typically look to their current owner base to garner next-gen requirements. So PC-12 owners were obviously a target market, and they wanted the same capability found in their PC-12 in the new business jet. However, the caveat was for greater range and speed, and the PC-24 was born. Now look at the close proximity of the door to the trailing edge of the wing, as well as the engine inlet. That is an engineering accomplishment Pilatus should be very proud of. In keeping with its design goal of landing on unpaved airfields, the PC-24 is certified, however there are limitations. Grass can't be over 3 inches high. I'm not kidding. Maximum gravel rock size is 1.9 inches, and ruts can't be over 3.9 inches. There are multiple options for interior configuration, which include 6, 8, 10-passenger, or a 4-passenger combi. And yes, you can fit bicycles in an upright position due to the fact that the cabin height is 5 feet 1 inch, with a flat loading floor throughout and a width of 5 feet 8 inches, largest in class, which I'll show you in a minute. The most common layout is the 6 or 8 passenger, which still allows plenty of space for cargo, which is limited for early aircraft to 400 pounds, which I'll swing back to in a minute. Also notice there's a sink and flushing vacuum toilet opposite the forward door that's pretty unique. You open the lav door and close off the cockpit. Then you open the drawer and pull the toilet inboard. In the forward cabin bulkhead, there's an integrated pocket door that closes off the cabin. It may seem like one too many steps, but if you have to go, it's a pretty neat design. After the PIC seat and opposite the lav is an option floor-to-ceiling galley cabinet for about $60,000, and this can accommodate an optional coffee maker, microwave, and ice drawer. And this can also be installed in the aft cabin. In 2024, Pilatus introduced a couple refinements and now offers an option, a 3-place, 6.5-foot berthable divan, certified takeoff and landing. They also announced the payload range increase program that ups payload 600 pounds with full fuel, enabling the aircraft to fly 2,000 miles with 6 passengers. To reflect this enhancement, the serial number sequence was changed post-serial number 337, and they restarted production with serial number 501. As mentioned earlier, what truly sets this aircraft apart from the competition is its flexibility and configurations, and one niche seems to be air ambulance. In some aircraft, you'll find the EMS personnel struggling to fit the stretcher in the aircraft, sometimes through narrow entry doors. Not the case here. As you can see, you move the stretcher next to the door sill and slide it in, and it can hold 2 or more stretchers, plus seats for medical personnel. The cockpit comes standard with the Honeywell Primus Epic avionics. Similar platform found on the PC-12, as well as Gulfstream and Falcon models. Pilatus rebranded the package the Advanced Cockpit Environment, or ACE. And as can be seen, it has a ram's horn yoke similar to the Phenom 300 and Hawkers. Although certified single pilot, as you can see, it's quite roomy for 2. The aircraft is powered by full FADEC Williams FJ44 engines, which are also found on the CJ2s, M2, CJ3s, and CJ4, the latter using the same -4A engine that's found on the PC24. They have a 5,000-hour overhaul requirement, and the right-hand engine incorporates a QPM, or Quiet Power Mode, providing idle power, similar to an APU, to all systems, including cooling and heating, and the fuel burn is about 18 gallons an hour. An engine program, Tap Blue, is available and costs $270 per engine per hour and $20-25. And as you've heard me say before, without a program, you'll pay for it come time of resale. Another design feature found on the aircraft is called the exact nozzle. Thank God there's not an acronym for that. That deflects thrust 2 to 3 degrees upward, providing downforce after takeoff, increasing the climb rate. Ingenious. There are no thrust reversers, as the aircraft uses air brakes and a lift dump system that automatically deploy on landing and rejected takeoffs. Pilatus also offers a tip-to-tail maintenance program called Crystal Care. It covers pretty much everything on the airplane, including consumables and lubricants. It entails both a fixed monthly cost and an hourly rate tied to your annual utilization. With 289 aircraft in service as of May 2025, what does the owner cross-section look like? Well, 26 owners operate 2 or more, 5 are owned by governments, PlaneSense in New Hampshire operates 16, JetFly in Luxembourg has 15, Royal Flying Doctor has 5 and growing, Volkswagen in their corporate flight department has 6, and another air ambulance company, you pronounce it, they operate 6. Now let's take a look at the resale market. For the first time since entering the service, we're seeing an increase in inventory reaching 18 available aircraft last year. And one would think this would affect pricing. However, a very interesting dynamic is happening. To preface, the base price for the first 85 orders was $8.9 million plus options. And as of 2024, new price is around $13.5. Now, when you think of what you can buy for $13 million on the pre-owned market, you're faced with some very interesting options, which we're going to address in an upcoming session. The original cost new, or here's an acronym, the OCN, depicted here is the average price paid for each year model. So when we compare resale prices to the original cost new, in almost every case, the PC24 sold for more than it cost new, and you may be thinking, that's an anomaly, because that only happens with the first couple aircraft after entry into service. Well, let's look at transactions in 2019 and 2020. Selling price is greater than the price new. The same dynamic continues in 2021 and 2022, although in 2022 through early part of 23, we saw a price run-up for most business jets, so this could be a factor with the PC24 as well. The good news for pre-owned buyers, things do start to turn in 2024, where selling prices are just slightly above cost new. And in 2025, we're beginning to see a shift where selling prices are equal to or just slightly above. Let's take a look now at the competition with current production aircraft. The Cessna, CJ4, and Phenom 300. The price point new are very comparable. They all have current generation cockpits and engines. Passenger capacity is similar. Service ceiling above 40,000 feet and comparable fuel burns. However, the PC24 excels with its cabin dimensions, dual doors, baggage volume, and field performance. Can you load all these aircraft with max passengers and full fuel? No. Can all 3 climb direct to 45,000 feet and go balls to the wall? No. You'll lose thrust at that altitude. In summary, the PC24 had some issues on early aircraft, most notably windshield failure, among a few others. However, they've been rectified when Pilatus introduced a new acronym, the Big Aircraft Modification Program, or BAM. The PC24, similar to the Phenom 300, has a design life of 30,000 hours or 30,000 landings. And as found on many business jets today, Pilatus has a service that enables predictive maintenance where after landing, aircraft data is uploaded to the OEM for analysis. As always, thank you for tuning in. Now let's get on board our PC24 and take off on a grass strip. See you next time.